Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'd just like to set a few things straight, because I've criticized Trump in my previous videos, and that I see some people, not a lot of rage, but they're, it's rubbing people the wrong way. So I would like to explain why I'm criticizing Trump and where I actually stand on all this stuff. So, number one, for those of you who are just now starting to follow me, or for those of you who have missed some of my previous videos or something, I voted for Trump 3 times, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. Nothing would stop me except death. I would vote for Trump again and again and again. I agree with almost everything he does. But, and there is a but, I am a constitutionalist to the bone. I'm about freedom and America. And to that point, America is we the people. Not the government, not our foreign policy, not of this other bullshit. We the people. That's the America I talk about when I talk about America. The United States of America is we the people. And that goes clear back to our founding fathers. Our founding fathers directed us to stay vigilant and to question the government. They directed us to. This is our duty. I'm not questioning Trump because I've got these wild liberal leftist ideas and all this bullshit. No, I'm questioning Trump because George Washington wanted me to question Trump, and it makes sense to me to keep an eye on what he's doing. And this should be the baseline. To me, no matter how much you support a leader or, whatever, it's just against my grain to follow blindly. I don't care how much I love everything he's doing and all that stuff. I just can't follow blindly. I have to question. I've got to ask questions, even if the answers that come back are different than what I expected. Because I expect some answers to come back when I question Trump, but I am hoping for different answers than the ones I expect, if that makes sense. I am hoping that Trump is 100% America first, for the people of the United States of America. That's what I'm hoping for, because that's what I voted for. But I also know that human nature affects all of us across the board. Trump has an agenda. Trump is selfish. Just like not Trump is a selfish person. All of humanity, every single person on this planet is selfish. So is Trump. So I just can't follow blindly. I can't do these things without questioning. I can't accept everything just on faith. If I hear something that strikes me the wrong way, I have questions about it. And that's what the entire idea of this YouTube channel is for us to question things and share these ideas. I'm not trying to piss people off. I'm not trying to make you feel stupid for voting for Trump. I voted for Trump. I'd have to be making myself feel stupid. But in my personal opinion, all of us should be questioning Trump. Not because I think he's a Nazi or any of that other dumb shit that they call him, but because he's the president and that's our duty. It's our duty to question the president of the United States, no matter who it is. It's our duty to question these congressmen. It's our duty to question the governors, to let them go up there and then just applaud everything they do. Just applaud it, no matter what it is. Just because we voted for them. I can't do it. I'd rather question every single thing they do than applaud every single thing they do. That's just me. I really took what George Carlin said to heart. Question everything. And now, the older I get, the more George Carlin made sense, and George Washington and our other founding fathers. We're supposed to be vigilant. Now, these leftist politicians, they're already starting to talk about impeaching him. So just that in itself, if he's fighting against these leftists, these entrenched pieces of shit that are just been wasting our money for the last 100 years, 150, 200 years, whatever it is, then he's got to be doing some great things in there. And if you've looked at what Elon's doing with Doge, just talk about shining a light on the cockroaches, just the bullshit that they've been doing in there. I mean, it's not surprising. It's not surprising to me that, they've wasted millions of dollars on sushi and transgender shit in Venezuela, our tax money. You know what I mean? It's not surprising, but it's disgusting. It's like stepping on a cockroach. It might not surprise you, but it's still gross. So my point in that is that all of this stuff that Trump's doing is great. And I agree with most of it, but there is some stuff that it's not America first. And I have to wonder what his agenda is. And I think it was Mr. Anderson in the comments who pointed out that Trump's kids won't be over there in Gaza. You know what I mean? Getting shot at and over there in Gaza. So why can these billionaires and politicians and all this stuff send us over somewhere to die when they don't have any risk at all to themselves or their family? And that right there, to me, is wrong. If your family's not at risk, then you've got no skin in that game, and it's okay. You're separated from that. So there's no consequence to that. If a few hundred soldiers go over there to die, if a few hundred soldiers die over there, as long as the main goal gets met, that's okay. Now, if you're a mother or a father of one of those 100 soldiers who died over there, that's a life-changing event. That's not just something, that's not just a number, a statistic on a piece of paper. I just give her a flag, fold the flag up and give it to her. We got Gaza. And it's been that way for a long time. They don't send their kids over there to die. They send us over there to die. And anybody who will do that, anybody who can do that, send other people to die, there's something that it just doesn't sit well with me. I'm sorry. If you disagree with me, I understand. And that's what this YouTube channel is for us to disagree with each other. And maybe we'll prove to some people that we can disagree in a calm fashion and still get along and still agree on the other 99% of the stuff we talk about, right? Because we're grown-ups. We're Gen X. We've been disagreeing for 50 years. We know how to disagree. We know how to get in a fist fight and be friends tomorrow. We know how to do that. We're Gen X. So let's remember that. But yeah, I've always had a problem with that. The rich and the politicians sending the common man over there to die. And that's been going back, throughout history. Genghis Khan did it, King George did it. They're real good at sitting around and making these big decisions over, a piece of land or something, or an ideology of a religious relic or whatever, and sending thousands of people over there to die for it. Maybe that's just the way of the world. Maybe it will never change. I just really believe that we have advanced, and we have evolved, and we don't need that shit anymore. We don't need to die and for other people's gains. Stuff that means nothing to us. Stuff that doesn't benefit us in any way. Why should we die for that? And there's no need to anymore. Look at society today, all the wonderful, cool, amazing technology we have. And we're still fighting in wars like it's the Middle Ages. We're still killing each other for stupid shit. And when you talk about killing someone, I mean, is there a real good reason? There are all the reasons I can think of are stupid. Unless it's, justice. Maybe justice is the only true reason. Something like that. Vengeance. But it's got to be a horrible crime. Yeah, any time Trump or any president whatsoever, I don't care how far in the future, I don't care who they are, I don't care. Anytime somebody wants to send American soldiers overseas to die in someone else's conflict, I've got questions. 100%. I don't care who they are. 100%. I'm going to have questions. Now, George Washington warned us about this kind of stuff. Do not get involved in that stuff over there. Let the rest of the world be. America doesn't need to be involved in that shit. And he was right, in my opinion. Our founding fathers were right about a lot of things. The only thing that I have found that I disagree with, I mean, honestly, and I'm not a student of all this stuff, but I am interested and I have done some reading. But the only thing I find that I disagree with are the no term limits for Congress and all this shit. 0 term limits, just lifelong politicians. And they had a good reason. I'm getting a mind blank. I cannot remember what their reason was, but when you read their reason, it makes perfect sense. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that no term limits makes perfect sense. Okay, that sounds like a good thing. But they did not see technology and stuff like that's happened, and the oligarchies, these huge trillion-dollar businesses, you know what I mean, just buying off these politicians and turning them against America. So they didn't foresee that stuff, and the bad way outweighs the good in that situation with the lobbying and all. Even lobbying, they allowed lobbying. Lobbying's been around for a long time. I think before the Civil War. Yeah, they've allowed lobbying, and it just they didn't foresee it turning into just a bribery scheme. But it has, and now it needs to be stopped. So I'd like to say that I am 100% behind Trump, but that doesn't mean that I have to agree with every single thing he does. And even if I do agree with it, I still reserve the right to ask questions, to point out some flaws in the logic, right? Maybe, yeah, if I was looking at overall the entire population of humanity and all this stuff, maybe the U.S. should get involved in these foreign wars and stop this. No, but I don't. I want America to be great first. Once we get America great, once we have a solid middle class again, and we have a solid Social Security system again, and all this stuff, and Social Security is actually paying out enough to live, and we can get rid of all these illegal immigrants and raise the wages up so people can afford to live. And people never think about that. Why does the value of the dollar go down? Because they make more dollars. Okay? It's the exact same thing across the board. The reason wages are so low is because there's a lot of labor available because of all this massive immigration coming in. It's just like putting all kinds of dollars into our economic system, you put all kinds of labor into our labor force, that lowers the value of the labor, period. Then add to the fact that the people who are being added are willing to work for less. Even if they weren't willing to work for less, it would lower it just because of the amount of it. The amount of labor available lowers the wages. So all this stuff has to be done to be America first. And that's what I'm about. America first. Once America is strong and its people are prosperous, and I would say across Western civilization, every single country needs to do this for itself, because I want to see Canada make Canada great again and be Canadian first. I want to see Australians make Australia great again and be Australia first. And I'd say that across every country in Western civilization. And if we all raise up and become strong and prosperous, then we can aid each other in a better way. Then if one of us do fall on hard times, we can help each other, instead of just letting these war-torn countries leech off of us, and these third world countries send all of their unskilled, cheap labor and criminals to us. I'm about the American taxpayer, the taxpayers of Western civilization. I'm about asking questions. Why isn't our government America first? Every single action from the day he was inaugurated until America is great again, every single one of those actions should be America first. That's just my opinion. And if they're not, I want to know why. Because I've heard that drum. I've banged that drum myself. Make America great again. America first. I banged it myself. So I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. I'm pointing the finger at myself. Now let's do it. Let's make America great again. And you do that by making America first in every single decision until it's great again. You can't make America great again by sending troops and spending money over in the Gaza Strip. That's just more American blood soaking in their sand, and more American tax dollars being wasted over there, just evaporating over there in the sun. That's not America first. I'm sorry. It's just not. Our country can be great again, and I think it will be, but I think this kind of stuff is just going to slow the process down. I honestly believe that Trump is trying to make America great again. And I honestly think that he is putting America first. But there are some things that he's doing that are slowing down the process. And he does not have time to slow down the process. He needs to be full throttle, pedal to the metal, America first for the next 4 years. Do everything he can to make his policies last as long as they can. And I'll leave you there with that. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there. Or you can head over to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I'll put that link down in the description too. If you're interested in Gen X gear, you can hop over to Redbubble and check out what we have over there. Gen X Thinks and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, all kind of cool stuff over there. But feel free to go check that out, and I'll put that link down in the description as well. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out a lot. Thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate it. If you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comments, or you can email us. And the email is genxthinks@gmail.com. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.